I was in a relationship for approximately 15 years. And no one knew my story. And what I say about this is when you look at someone as they stand, when you think they're strong, you think they're funny, you think that everything is good for them, it's a possibility that it's not. I'm not saying that I'm a Bernie dead type situation. I didn't have my own lifetime story till the end. But any type of abuse is abuse, whether it's verbal, physical, or the likes thereof. And the cycle of abuse, it goes around and around and around, and sometime or another you have to break this circle. So there's the part where they're agitated, they get mad, they want to fight, they want to argue, they may lash out at you verbally, or they may hit you. Then they come back and it's the honeymoon stage, and they're apologetic, they're bringing you gifts, they want to make love to you, they want to talk to you, they want to be your friend, and they're looking at you like, why don't you like me? What's the problem? I'm apologizing. And then there's a calm period where there's absolutely nothing going on. So a lot of my abuse was, most of the time, it was more verbal than it was physical, but I was getting hit as well. And one of my biggest remembrance was when I first stood up to this individual, because I did some things that's not, I was tired, so I did some things out of character. And he said since I was acting like somebody in the street, he was going to treat me like somebody in the street. So we went back behind the building, and I said, okay, well, since this how you gonna do it, you wanna fight, I'm gonna show you I can't fight. So as stupid as it may have sounded, my head was saying, go on and hit him, go on and hit him. This side said, don't be stupid. But this side won, so I punched him. And I broke his glass. And this side said, oh, you in trouble now. And what happened was I lost my footing. So this whole side of my face, and I hate that I never took pictures out of fear. But this whole side of my face was swollen. I had a black eye. I looked deformed terribly. Went to the hospital, couldn't talk, so he made up this horrendous story about me being jumped on by a whole bunch of girls. So when I went home and tried to explain it to my mom and them, again, I couldn't talk. So the story he told was a story that rolled out. Moving forward, stayed together, tried to work things out, prayed that God would change them. And basically, the last time something happened, I really stood up for myself. And what I realized is, when I think back hindsight, if I would have did what I did the day I actually stood up with him, because I had a knife in my hand, and I said, hey, look, one of us not going to make it up out of here. It's either you or me, because he threatened me with a beer bottle. And he backed down, but I thought about it. I had never called the police. I had never had a piece of paper on him. So in actuality, even though I was being abused and there was no paper trail and nobody knew about it, because not even my family knew about it. People assumed or may have thought something, but nobody addressed it. And because I kept smiling and saying everything was okay and I was happy and this, that, and the other, everybody let it go. So when I got thrown out of my house because I stood up for myself, and what I realized is if I would have cut him in any shape, form, or fashion, I probably would have been the one going to jail. Yep. If I had killed him, I'd be looking at a murder rap because there was no evidence of me going through the stuff that I had been through. Fast forward 2 months after being put out of my house. Now, when I say this, I am not saying that this person did anything, but it's real suspects. I'm going to let you make your own conclusion. So 2 months and 2 days, I was coming home from a church service. My girlfriend, my best friend, as a matter of fact, was having a church service on the south side. It was the last church side. It was the last church service of 2008. And I didn't want to go, but I got called like constantly. You need to come, you need to come, you need to come. So I went. And I sat there thinking, okay, I'm going into 2009 alone. Don't know what I'm going to do. My whole countenance had changed. I was depressed. I just didn't want to do anything. So I'm sitting in the back of service. My mentor came and hugged and kissed on me, sat at the front. And then when it was time for us to leave, my best friend, who was pastor, stood up and said, can't nobody go. I need to pray against the spirit of premature death. So I stopped, because I really didn't want to be there, but I was obedient. And she prayed for about 45 minutes. Don't ask me what she prayed. I can't tell you, but I know prayer works. Because as I drove home, still wondering what I was going to do, I pulled into my mother's driveway, and someone came from behind a tree. And I thought I was being robbed. Because I diverted, because I didn't want to take him to the house because he came from our tree out of nowhere. And I didn't want to take him to my door because I had no way of alerting my family that somebody was outside that came behind this tree. So I doubled back, and my mindset was, I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to call the police, or I'm going to run this joker over. Either way it go, he's not going to make it. And before I can get there, he said an explicit and told me to stop. So now I'm thinking I'm being robbed. He's going to take my truck. I didn't have any money on me, just my Bible and my keys. But then the look in his eye let me know something else was going on. And before I had time to think, he cocked a pistol. And I sat there and I said, well, I'm fighting, so why are you cocking your pistol, dude? Next thing I know, I seen the look and I seen him move. So I turned to run, and the first bullet hit me right here. I lost all feeling in my legs, and I dropped to the ground, and all I could do was cry out for God. He stood over me and shot me 3 more times and walked away.
Right.
I literally seen him walk down the street to the other corner and probably got into a car with someone who I believe was in the car and drove off. I never lost consciousness. I thank God for that. I kept my sense of humor even though I knew everybody was scared. I cracked jokes with the people out there because I was embarrassed, because when you're out there on the ground, they have to cut your clothes off of you in the middle of December. Cold as heck outside. You cutting my clothes off of me. I was having a female moment, and I wondered why you got my butt exposed. And I'm telling them to cover me up, and my sister's telling me to shut up so they can find out what's wrong with me. And I'm telling her, no, you shut up. So I get in the ambulance, the guy's lying, telling him I'm one age. I keep telling him to correct my age, and then I was fussing at the driver because he seemed to hit every pothole on the way to Lowell. So when I get in there, I was in surgery for 4.5 hours. Found out that every vital organ in my body was hit except for my heart. My heart sac, my diaphragm, my liver, my kidney. The bullets just seemed to ricochet off of everything in my body. And because I was overweight at the time, probably pushing 300 if not over. They called me obese because I got documentation and paperwork. I got paperwork and everything, so nobody believes that I got shot and all my organs hit. I'm like, here, read this. But they told me I was obese, and because my lungs collapsed on the operating table, they had to close me up and leave 2 bullets inside of me. Took 9 months for the bullets to gravitate to the side to pull out. But the testimony in that is, 1, I survived.
Amen.
2, God did it.
Yes, he
And
did.
he brought me out
Yes, he did.
in 8 days. Where people, I didn't have feeling in my legs for 2 days. By Friday, I was walking and kicked me out the hospital by the following Monday. So I go home, and when my sister started calling everybody, one of the first people that she called in the group of people that she called, because she didn't know a lot of people, was Tammy. And Tammy said, I'm not going to call, but you need to keep me updated and let her know I'm praying. And I got something, thank you, that I'm praying for, and tell Precious she need to come on about it. So when I was able to get a phone, Tammy was one of the first people I called. And I thanked her, and we cried on the phone together. And I had never seen Tammy cry. I think seen Tammy cry when she'd be shouting in church, but other than that, I never seen Tammy cry, never heard her cry. No matter how many conversations we had that were personal in our home, we talked about our relationships, and we talked about what we were going through and how we need to fix this and how we need to change that and how we were going to move it. I never seen her shed a tear. And Tammy called me, I put on Facebook one Sunday. I said, hey, I'm well enough to get out the house. I need to go to church, somebody's church. I don't care whose church it is, I need to go. Tammy was the first person to call my phone. I ain't been to church either, but if you're going to go, I'm going to come pick you up. So Tammy took me to Progressive, and that day I was able to share my testimony, because so many people, even though I wasn't connected to Progressive anymore by being a member, some people had came out of the hospital that could get in, that my mom let in, and they had been praying for me. So Tammy and I spent that whole day together, and I thank her because she came and got me, and she didn't have to. But when I say she called me immediately, she did. So we kept in touch. And she was telling me some things that was going on. I kept telling Tammy, just gotta be careful, baby. Watch yourself. She's like, I got this, Precious. I'm gonna be all right. And the thing that I remember about her most was her infectious laughter. Her kindness towards others, the way she loved her children, the way she loved her sisters and brothers. She talked about them all the time, even when she was mad at them. I can't stand them, but I love them. If they call me right now, I might not go right away, but I'm gonna go. In fact, I might wait till tomorrow. Always make me laugh. So it really bothered me because I talked to her probably the week before, because I pretty much, I guess she was doing my hair at that time, because I was going through phases, changing my hair all the time, and I was like, I don't want no crochets no more, I just wait. But we were talking, and then I hadn't heard from her, and I called, and I didn't get an answer. And, I didn't think anything of it because I figured, she's just gonna get me back. So it's hard to find out you lose a family member, because I feel Tammy's my family. But I found out Tammy passed away. I turned on my television. So I never had a chance to have a phone call or an alert. I was awake and I was in my sleep. And that's something I had to deal with because I didn't understand it. And I don't question God, but I do. And my thing was, why not me? The hardest thing I had to deal with when Tammy passed away was I would have went instead of her. She had babies. I had family, but I didn't have children. And that was the thing that really got me. And it sent me into another depression. I tried to reach out to Des as much as I could, but I was in my own shell. Because I didn't understand why. And I think God's going here and thank Desiree. I'm honored. When Desiree called me, I looked at her like, I'm honored, but I said, it's something I won't do it. But I could not do it because of who God was to me. So again, I thank you. And I have no problem standing with you. And just continue to go forward. So thank you all for listening to the testimony and continue to keep the family in prayer. And this is just the beginning. I was laughing when her brother said, when he said he's seen about seeing me across the country, because when Jeremiah was sitting on Periscope and the lady from Alabama said, is he going to be in this city? I definitely said, we coming to your city. Just give us a chance. We going to be in your city. Might not be this year, but we coming to your city. It's going to be around the world. So when he said that, I just pointed at Jeremiah and I was just like, wow. So God bless you all again. Thank you for coming out. And just continue to love on each other. And again, if you know anybody who you think is going through something, silence is not golden. It needs to be told. And if you even think you see something, pull the person to the side and talk to them. God bless you all.
Bless you all. All right, you all. We're going to do 8.